The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Welcome back to all my dear 6th standard children. So, did you enjoy the spectacular inauguration of our digital Kaloltsavam, Gurugala? So, all the coming 9 days are going to be amazing. Lots of competitions and you are going to enjoy all that. By the end of 9 days, we will know which remainder is going to be on the top. So, have lots of fun children. Now, today, we will start with a new topic, that is our 4th chapter. What is the chapter's name? Along with motion. Motion is a sign of life. Life requires movement or motion, isn't it? All the objects in this universe are under continuous motion. The solar system, the galaxy, all these are continuously moving. And this motion only helps in the existence of the entire universe. The natural phenomenon like weather changes, seasonal changes, all these also happen because of the motion. We see different types of motions around us as well as within us. So in this chapter, we are going to study all the different types of motions which we see around us and within us. And we are also going to recognize how to use these different types of motion favorably in our day-to-day life. Okay? Shall we move into our chapter? Yes. Children, now answer my question. Can you tell me what are the objects on earth which do not undergo motion, which are at a state of rest? Can you tell me? Yes, I can hear your answers. Rocks, mountains, buildings, isn't it? The chair, table, everything, the TV, all these are under state of rest, isn't it? These are your answers, okay? But are these answers correct? For that, we should have a view of the earth from the outer space. Would you like to have a view of that? Yes. So you can see that earth is rotating and revolving at a very high speed, isn't it? The earth has got 2 types of motion. What are the 2 types of motion? You have studied these in your previous classes. They are rotation and revolution. Okay? So from this picture, you can say that earth is rotating at a very high speed and all the objects on earth are also under continuous motion. So the answers you said earlier, like the rocks, mountains, buildings, all these are also under continuous motion. In your textbook, there is a question arised by a boy in a classroom. He is asking, if all the objects are under continuous motion, I am sitting in the classroom, by the time I reach home, will my home be there? That's a wonderful question, isn't it? Yes, yes. Curiosity helps you learn more. So don't avoid such questions, keep asking questions. Well, the answer to that boy's question is, yes, the home is going to be there. His home will remain where it was. The home doesn't move because earth is rotating at a very high speed. Do you know the speed? 1667 km/h. So imagine the speed. Not only that, Earth is also revolving at a much higher speed, that is 1,06,000 km per hour around the sun. So that is a revolution. So two types of movements are going on here, rotation and revolution. Because of that, we are not able to feel the motion around us. We are not aware of the movement that is happening for us, isn't it? Let me tell you an example. Suppose you are sitting in a train which is halted. In the next track there is one more train. Suddenly you see a movement. Now you are confused. Which train is moving? Your train or the train in the other track? We get a confusion, isn't it? So once the tail of train is seen, you will understand which train is moving. When you see the tail of the other train, you will understand that which train is moving, isn't it? So similarly, we are not able to understand the movement that is happening among us only because of rotation and revolution of the earth. I hope it is clear now, isn't it, children? Children, now tell me, what are the different types of motions that is happening within us? Can you tell me? Yes, when I am speaking to you, what are the things that is happening to me? I am breathing, I am taking in and giving out the breath. So that is respiration. Bloodstream is flowing, so blood circulation. Heartbeat, excretion, sweat, digestion. All these are the different types of motion that is happening within our body. So that is also motion. Okay? Children, can you tell me the motion that you see around us? Yes. Usually when you sit in seashore, you can see the movement of air. You can feel the movement of air. Heavy sound will be there. That is the motion of the air. Similarly, when you use a handmade fan, Vishiri, you can feel the movement of air. Similarly, the rustling of leaves, that we call it as rustling. We can also sometimes feel the movement of clouds, isn't it? So these are all the motion that is happening around us. Okay? Can you tell me what are the other motion that take place around you? Just observe. The needle of a clock, that is also one type of motion. Waves, the movement of waves. Rainfall, isn't it? All these are different other types of motion that is happening around us. So I hope you understood everything that we see around us is under continuous motion. Okay? Children, now we are going to learn one more new term in this motion. Okay? Force and motion. How are these both connected? We will learn that. For that, we'll do an activity. Let's see who is doing this activity for us.
Hi friends, I am Srinav R from 6th C. How are you all? Hope you are all fine and safe at home. Today I am going to do a small experiment. Shall we go? For this experiment, I am using some goalies and scale. Our teacher will explain more about this experiment. Thank you.
Did you see the activity done by one of our friends? Yes. What did he do? He took a marble which was rolled on the table, isn't it? So, a marble at rest is being rolled. What did you do there? How did the marble roll? You applied a slight force using your finger. So it started moving. Okay? So force helps in movement. Next, what did he do? As the marble was rolling, he blocked the movement of the marble using one of his hand. So force can stop the movement of an object, isn't it? And what was the next step? As the marble was rolling, he kept an inclined scale. What is inclined scale? Scale cherichi pidichittu. When he did that, what happened? It was seen that marble was taking a different direction. So force helps in changing the direction of motion, isn't it? And what was the last step? The rolling marble was collided with one more marble. What happened? It increased the speed of the first marble. So force can increase or decrease the speed of the object, isn't it? So how is force and motion connected? Force can do many things with motion. Force can move an object which is at rest. Force can change the direction of the object. Force can stop the movement of an object, and force can also increase or decrease the speed of an object which is moving. Okay, so these are the 4 things that force can do on a moving object or an object at rest. Okay, now we will see what is given in your textbook. We can move objects at rest by applying force. We can also change the state of motion of a body to a state of rest by applying force. We apply force to change the direction of motion or to increase or decrease the speed of motion. So force can do 4 things, as I said earlier. Now we will apply the same method to a football game. So what happens there? First thing, the ball is kicked, isn't it? A ball which is at rest is kicked. So force is applied there. For what? To bring movement in the ball. Force is used to move an object which is at rest. After that, we can see in the game that the moving ball is blocked by the leg of another player. So what happens here? Force is used to stop the movement of a moving object. It is used to stop the moving object. Number 2. A moving ball is again kicked forcefully by one player. So what happens? It can increase or decrease the speed of the moving object. And lastly, you can see that a moving ball is stopped using the legs of another player. Here, force is used to stop the movement of a ball. So what can we understand? In a football game, force can move an object at rest, that is a ball at rest. Force can change the direction of the ball. Force can increase or decrease the speed of the ball, and force can also stop the moving ball. So this is what happens in a football game. So I hope you understood the connection between force and motion. Okay, children, now we will study about the different types of motion using some examples which is given in your textbook. Now shall we look into that pictures? You can see a pencil being sharpened there, and the second picture is drawing a circle using a compass, isn't it? And the third picture, what is the third picture? Drawing a line using pencil and scale, isn't it? These are the three pictures you see in your textbooks. Now we are going to differentiate these different types of motions. What is the first type of motion? Yes, using a sharpener you are rotating a pencil. So what type of motion is that? It is rotatory motion. Okay. So what was the second type of motion? Yes, it is drawing a circle using a compass. That is called circular motion. Okay. Now look at the third type of motion. You are drawing a line using a scale and pencil. So what type of motion is that? It is called as linear motion. So children, we are studying three types of motion here. What are they? Rotatory motion, circular motion and linear motion. So will you note it down in your textbook? Children, now we are going to identify these three different types of motions with the help of the pictures which is given in your textbook. Shall we do that? You can see a girl swirling a stone tied to a rope. So what type of motion is that? It is a circular motion because it is similar to the drawing a circle using compass. A rotating top. It is a rotatory motion because it has an axis, that is a nail beneath the top. A ripe mango falling down, definitely it is a linear motion. And the wheel of a vehicle is rotating, so it is a rotatory motion. Lift going up and down, so it is a linear motion. A toy train running around a circular path, so definitely it's going to be a circular motion. So in your textbook there are three tabular columns. Okay, now we are going to write more examples for rotatory, circular motion and linear motion with the help of these pictures. So children, this will be your first assignment. Write this tabular column in your file and then classify all these pictures, whether they are rotatory, circular motion or linear motion, and tabulate it in your files. So this will be your first assignment. Now that you have learnt, you have understood the three different types of motions, we are going to define it. The first group in the tabular column is rotatory motion. What is rotatory motion? If any object rotates on its own axis, then it is called a rotatory motion. What is circular motion? If the object moves in a circular path, then it is called a circular motion. And what is linear motion? Very easy. If an object moves up and down in a straight line, then it is called a linear motion. So write down all these three different types of motions in your files. Define them with examples. Okay? Children, we will see how the three different types of motions are defined in your textbook. Okay? The motion of a body along a straight line is linear motion. The movement of a body about its own axis is rotation, and the motion along a circular path is called circular motion. So children, I hope you have understood what is motion, the importance of motion in our life, how they are being applied in our daily life. Start observing all these different types of motion in your everyday life. So, bye for now. We will see in the next video session.